All right, let's take a look at the homework. This is P139. This is the homework for 8.5. So again, we're solving for x, okay? Now, you can use the models. In my opinion, I like the models for the adding and subtracting. I don't love the models for the multiplication. That's my personal opinion, okay? But with math, there's always more than one way to solve a problem. So you can solve it the way that works best for you. So if you want to use the models and that makes sense to you and it's easier for you to understand and see it, use them, okay? But essentially, all you're doing, we have x on the left side, we're dividing by doing the inverse operation. So this is multiplication, the opposite of multiply is divide. What do we divide by? That 5 to get rid of it, leaving you with just x. And then what I do to one side, I have to do to the other. 5 goes into 10 2 times. And then let's check it. 5 times 2, does that equal 10? Because I plugged in a 2 for the x. Yes, it does. So x must equal 2. Okay. Now, the reason I don't love the models, well, there's a couple reasons, but one of the biggest reasons is for problems just like number 3. It's going to be time consuming to sit there and draw 21 little squares, okay, in my opinion. So on problems like this, I would, especially problems like this, I would prefer to just look at it and go, okay, on the side of the equation with the variable, so this side of the equation, if I want to get that x by itself, I have to do the opposite, the inverse operation. This is a number with a letter right next to it, so that means it's multiplying. The opposite of multiplying is dividing. So I want to divide both sides. What do I want to divide it by? Whatever that coefficient is, in this case 3. Last time the coefficient was 5. In this problem the coefficient was 2. 8 divided by 2, notice that equals 4. 5 divided by 10, divided by 5, that equals 2. Here, 3 divided by 3 is just 1, or 1x. And then 3 goes into 21 7 times. So 7 equals x, or we could write it as x equals 7. But again, if I plug it in, you can always plug this number in for that x to check if you're not sure, okay? If you're not sure, you say, oh, I don't know, this doesn't look right. Plug it in. 3 times 7, right? That's what that means. 21 equals 3, and then in the place of the x, I'm going to put in a 7. By the way, this is just another sign for multiplication. 3 times 7, does that in fact equal 21? Yes. So x does equal 7. Okay, I'm going to set the rest of them up, but I'm going to let you solve. This one, you're going to divide both sides by 4. On this one, the coefficient is 6, so you're going to divide both sides by 6. On this one, the coefficient is 2, so you're going to divide both sides by 2. Okay, same thing down here. I will show you the models on these two because it does ask for the models. But essentially what I'm going to be doing is dividing both sides by 3 because the coefficient is 3. And the operation is multiplication, so I want to do the opposite of that. Okay, here the operation is multiplication. So I want to divide. What do I divide by? That coefficient. So essentially that's what I'm doing. Now let me show you the models. Okay, if the equal sign is my line, on the left side I have 6 1 tiles and I have 3 x tiles on the right. So this tells me I need 3 groups, 3 equal groups. The coefficient is what tells me how many equal groups. So 1, 2, 3 equal groups on the right. So each group on the right has 1 x, and then 1, 2, 3 equal groups on the left. And the equal groups on the left each have 2 1 tiles in them. So for every X tile, there is a group of 2 1 tiles. So X equals 2. And we can see that as well if we divide both sides by 3, right? 3 divided by 3 leaves you with just X. 3 goes into 6 2 times. X equals 2 or 2 equals X. Okay, over here we draw our equation rectangle. The line down the middle represents our equal sign. So if it's representing this, there's my line down the middle. On the left side I have 4 X rectangles. 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the right I have 12 1 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And this coefficient 4 tells me how many equal groups I need on each side. I need 4 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4. So in each group there's 1 X. And then on this side, 4 equal groups. 1, 2, 3, 4. Each group has 3. So X equals 3. All right, a chef used 20 eggs to make 5 omelets. Model and solve the equation 5x equals 20 to find the number of eggs X in each omelet. I'm not going to force you to use the model on each problem, but I want you to understand the model. Okay, so if you have questions about the model, make sure you ask me, but I'm not going to make you solve each problem using the model. Okay, use it on 7 and 8. But then I wouldn't worry about using it on 9. Okay, so what you're going to be doing is just dividing both sides by 5. 5 divided by 5 leaves you with just X. And then 20 divided by 5, that will tell you what X equals. All right, number 10. Last month, Julia played 3 times as many video games as Scott did. I'm sorry, not Julia, Julio. Julio played 18 video games. Write and solve an equation to find the number of video games Scott played. Okay. So, Julio played 3 times as many as Scott, and Julio played 18. So we know 3 times whatever Scott played equals 18. So now I just divide both sides by 3. And I'll let you finish that math to get S by itself, simply by doing the inverse operation and dividing both sides by 3. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.